Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with the top of the blogs today. And today, you guys, we are talking three topics. Potomac, Porsha, and Puffy. That's right, y'all. It's a P day. And I mean that literally, bum. So let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you can hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? You guys, I'm loving this whole new format that I got. I mean, it ain't all that new, but just much shorter, condensed topics, you guys. First story up today is Potomac. If you guys were on Instagram yesterday, and I wasn't really on it, but I checked it out today, you saw that a lot of news came down when it came down to Housewives of Potomac. And we found out, you know, like we normally do, well, the rumors usually hit right after the reunion comes on. We know the reunion is scheduled, the first part is scheduled to come on Sunday. And usually everybody starts talking about who is going to be the next cast for the next season. So season 9 will be coming up, I'm assuming sometime around the end of this year or the beginning of next year. Yeah, there's been a cast shakeup. I don't think anybody is really all that surprised, because we could see kind of the writing on the wall, the way that this season was going. But the news has come down that at least 2 people will not be returning to the show. The first would be Candace, okay? Candace has decided to take a break from the show. They did use the wording, taking a break from the show, which kind of makes me feel like maybe they told her, you know, that she's always welcome to come back and it was her decision. You know, it could either be her decision, or I know that Bravo, for the most part, lets everybody handle however they want that news to come out. You know, they never come out and say, oh no, this person was fired, or oh no, this person can come back. Well, Andy does do that sometimes for like the faves. But for the most part, Bravo lets everybody just handle the way that they want the public to see the way that they left the show. And, but yeah, maybe Candace, we've talked about this plenty of times in the videos. It was really time for Candace to go. It was too much stress, and you could actually physically see it taking a toll on her. Every time you saw her face, it was just sort of like, oh God. All right. And it's hard to be on a show when you don't really like anybody. People don't like you. You don't get along with folks. And I just kind of saw that Candace's allies, even though Wendy was somewhat of an ally, and Karen was definitely trying to make sure that Candace made it back. I don't know if it was enough. And she's just decided that, you've abandoned me, love don't live here no more. It's a wrap on that, so not surprising. We do know that Candace has been trying to use her platform to get her out there. She's acting, she is singing, and so she has other irons in the fire that, she's going to make sure that she still has her stream of income. And possibly maybe they may bring her back as a housewife, if shit cooled down, or they come up with something else, maybe as a friend. It's a lot of ways that they leave it open for people who haven't really, she hasn't pissed off the producers, I don't believe so anyway. And so there is that. But the other big story was Robin supposedly getting fired. And I could very easily see that. We saw that Bravo, I believe, was pretty pissed about the way that she handled that situation with Juan. That, along with the way that everybody had an opinion about it. Everybody made her feel, made it seem like, there was this whole dastardly plan to make Candace look worse by hiding what Juan was going through. And much like how Bravo felt with Kenya when Kenya hid her marriage ceremony and all that, the new guy, turning out to be Mark, and that was a mess. But, we knew that Bravo was pissed at her about that, so they did give her a slap on the wrist. She was booted off for a little while, but she was allowed to come back. And that might be the same situation with Robin, but I don't know if that is even going to be Robin's scenario. I don't know if they will allow Robin to come back, because I think that they felt like, you know, she was hiding stuff. And you're on a reality show, you're supposed to open your life up to what's going on. So I think that's the reason why Robin was kicked off. The people I believe that will be back will be Giselle, Karen, and Mia. You know, Mia has locked in her new storyline with this Mr. Ink guy. You know, the way that they ended last season was the way that this new season will be. Us now getting to know him. I mean, she has him on the blogs. She's showing up at red carpets and different events with this man. Gordon is completely out of her picture. Okay. So there's that. Mia has definitely, I think, sealed the deal for her next season. Karen, of course, with this recent DUI. I mean, Karen I don't believe was in any danger of leaving anyway, but with this recent DUI that she has, this will be DUI number 2. Okay. I think it is clear that Karen probably has some sort of drinking problem. I'm not ready to call her an alcoholic because I don't know that. But I believe that Karen does have a drinking problem, enough so that her judgment is probably skewed a little bit when she is under the influence. And that was the reason why she was pulled over. No, actually, I believe she got into a crash. And, you know, that's when we found out that she had been drinking and driving. I sound like I've been damn drinking and driving, y'all. I've had coffee, so I'm a little wired. But Karen, she definitely can use this storyline to rally people around her. You know, a lot of people have alcoholism in their lives. Either it's them or someone that they love. Even I have grown up around alcoholism pretty much my whole life. You know, my dad was an alcoholic until he stopped drinking some years ago. And, you know, just many people around me that I have seen it. And we know how devastating that can be, not only to that person, but to a family, you know. So Karen can use this story to have people to rally behind her and really try to push her to sober up, you know, and really get a handle on this. And if it means that she's got to stop drinking 100%, then that's probably what needs to happen right now. So Karen is my girl. We not a kick a bitch when they down kind of person over here. Of course, I hate to see this kind of stuff happening to her. I'm sure as a grown 60-year-old woman that she knows her own self that she can't continue to move this way. So, you know, hindsight is always 20/20. You always can look back at shit you've done and just be like, fuck, I cannot keep doing this. I mean, the silver lining is that she didn't kill anybody or herself. Nobody got hurt in this whole thing other than maybe her reputation, her, you know, her, what is the word that I'm looking for? You know, I'm sure she felt, pretty dumb, for lack of better words. I'm sure she felt like, God, I am too old to be doing this. So we don't have to keep on beating Karen down. But yeah, she definitely is going to have to get this together. And I think that Karen and Giselle will, you know, Giselle, now that Robin possibly won't be there next season, you know, Giselle and Karen, we saw in this season how these two are really trying to be there for each other, whether it's in real life or just on the show. And so I think that Giselle will be that person for Karen. It's going to be hard for Giselle, though, much like Kenya and Porsha's situation, where those two were always, you know, at the very least shady with each other. It'll be the same with Karen and Giselle. You know, Giselle, it's hard for Giselle to be that friend without throwing in some sort of jab here and there. And, you know, Karen is going to need a shoulder to lean on, you know, and is Giselle going to be that? You know, we know that Giselle's shoulders are sharp. Okay. Bitch, it ain't comfortable there. So, you know, I'm not really sure how that will work out, but it is what it is. But yeah, Potomac has some things happening. I think everybody else is is in danger. I don't know about NECA. I don't even know about Wendy. I think Wendy really wants to stay, and that was some of the reason behind that whole sisterhood comment that she did in this last episode. You know, her just trying to be like, you know, I want us to move forward and all, but I don't know. I think that Wendy might be in danger. NECA, you know, she ain't never even got her foot in the door good. And, you know, like we said, everybody else is accounted for. So that's what's going on at Potomac. Let's get to the next story. Now, this story, you guys, is Porsha. Every day is some shit with Porsha, and I just shake my head. I was like, I know that girl is kicking herself in the ass. I know she is just like, I cannot believe I feel for the old okie doke. Okay? And it's just like every time you turn around, there's something else. Now we have Simon filing in court that Porsha showed up at the marital home that she left in haste. Okay, so apparently when you guys, we found out in haste, I felt like, because just a couple of days before the news came out that she had filed for divorce, she was posting that they were in love, like everything was great, and then next thing you know, it was like, bam, motherfuckers getting a divorce. And we were like, what? You know, and everybody was going through, is this a stunt? Is this for the show? I mean, everything happened at the same time. But no, I definitely don't believe it's a stunt any longer. Okay, it is definitely happening, and it's just got to be very tiring to be caught up in a life where, you know, it's just so much turmoil, because it's a lot of turmoil in Porsha's life. And you know, honey, when like I said, at this age, 53, baby, we need us some peace. I will pay whatever I can for peace. And hell, Porsha might have to pay that bill too, you guys. So Simon's newest complaint in court is that Porsha showed up at the marital home twice, you guys, with an armed man, he said, and he was not clear on what his intentions were. Now, because Porsha left the marital home in haste, I'm assuming that she probably didn't take most of her stuff. You know, threw some shit in the bag, made sure she had all her valuables, because that nigga ain't above going to the pawn shop, okay? I'm telling you, he not. But I'm sure she threw all her stuff, you know, in a bag and got the fuck on with the intentions of going back later to get the rest of her stuff. Now, like I said, this divorce has been very contentious at best, and it is going to be downright ugly. I believe that Simon is going to try to take that girl for everything. Like, I just hope that the prenup that they had drawn up, I hope that stands, you know. But anyway, a girl went down there to the house, I'm assuming, to get her stuff. And she probably had an armed security person with her. You know, Simon is a man, she's a woman. You know, shit gets real heated when you get to the house and all that. You don't know what a motherfucker might get to feeling froggish. Okay, so in order to avoid all that, let me bring my armed security person with me, and make sure that there ain't no fisticuffs up in here. And Simon, I'm sure he realized that. But I guess because, you know, he just is Simon. Listen, Simon is an old time hustler. This nigga probably been doing this kind of shit for years and years and years. Porsha, I guess she thought she was one of them, baby. Honey, you done met the master on this one. And any way that you can make the person that you're divorcing look any worse in court, then that's what you do. Okay? Ain't no such thing as playing fair when it comes to Simon Guabadia. Porsha Williams, on the other hand, yeah, I know she just feeling stupid, you know, feeling dumb. But yeah, so the story came up. They put it up on social media yesterday. I was reading the story this morning, and I did look into the comments because I wanted to see if Porsha was going to weigh in. I did see her sister Lauren, come in and say, "You mean her armed security?" Okay, like, where y'all come up with these stories? Not y'all, Simon. And even if it was, you know, one of the homies from down the way that she had to come with, you know, bring with her. I mean, you can carry a gun here in Georgia. It's legal, you know, as long as you have a license. So, you know, even if I had to get one of the big homies to come with me to come make sure that, you know, motherfucker, just in case I don't make it home tonight, you know, let me get one. But anyway, yeah, I'm not mad, but just the way that Simon is starting to try to push back and fight back at Porsha, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly for her. And child, I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing about it, but just sit and be like, well, girl, I mean, we tried to tell you to leave the nigga alone in the first place. You was all excited. Now look, you know, so I hate that for her. But you don't never win when you play dirty. Boy, that Nene quote is always gonna work, ain't it? Next subject. Lastly, you guys, Puffy. Mama named him Sean John Combs, you guys, and we're going to have to call him Sean Combs today because Sean Combs got real problems. It is not even a laughing matter. It never has been, but you know, we as black people, sometimes we can't take shit seriously, and we always can figure out a way to laugh through the pain. But I don't think that Mr. Combs is laughing these days. Now, we know that Cassie did file that big lawsuit that was dropped because they settled the day after that news broke. And I guess Puffy thought that that was going to go away really quickly. And that all that did was open up the gate for all of the people who had any kind of gripe, any kind of problem in the past, present, or maybe even future with Puffy. Even those who might not be telling the truth, come after. I mean, that opened the door for so many people to come after him. I'm not saying whether or not those stories are true or false. You know, those are things that's going to have to play out in court or whatever way that they figure it out. But Puffy got problems, y'all. Puffy got problems. Yesterday, we saw that the Homeland Security and a branch, HMI, out in Miami, of Homeland Security, they conducted federal raids on his homes, one in Holmby Hills, California, and one in Miami, Florida. And it was, you know, we can laugh about a lot of things, but seeing that on video, the helicopters swarming overhead, and what was the most heartbreaking was to see his kids, well, Justin and Christian, who are both adults, who are both legal adults, but they're still his kids. And, you know, you don't get to choose your damn parents. So, you know, I hate the fact that those kids were even pulled into this. I'm praying that those kids are not involved in anything that their dad is doing. When I saw Justin on there, I was like, I know Misa is pissed the fuck off. Okay, because y'all know she don't play about that boy. All right. And she's always very loudly hinting against the evils of Sean John Combs. So I know she was just sick to have to see that. Nobody wants to see their child in handcuffs. I would have been heartbroken. But, you know, the helicopter is swarming above head, and we seeing these people go into his very large estates. And, you know, I'm assuming probably in there for some hours because he has huge homes, you know, and so they've got to check all of the places. Now, the raid is because of ongoing investigation that Homeland Security is doing. And in the buzzword is sex trafficking. Cassie did allude to sex trafficking in her court documents, and not all of them, but many of the other cases that have been brought upon Mr. Combs also talk about sex trafficking. So this is something that the United States has tried to crack down on and take more seriously, as, you know, we see so many people that are getting sex trafficked. Yeah, they went on there and I don't know if the boys were arrested or if they were just detained, just trying to keep, you know, track of everybody, making sure that, you know, they know who was where and all of that, or if they were arrested. You know, I'm hoping that they weren't arrested. I still don't know what that is. But anyway, we did see Puffy. I've read kind of many reports. I'm not sure exactly where Puffy was in the video, but we saw him kind of pacing back and forth, him kind of having this spaced out look on his face. He looked like his stomach was hurting real bad. I shouldn't laugh. I'm not laughing, you guys, because I don't like to see people go to jail, you know, and have these type of problems. But again, the Nene quote, you know, the fact that there have been stories for many years about Puffy. You know, sometimes stories will be out there and you can kind of feel like where there's smoke, there's fire. And then there's other stories where, you know, maybe because of the fact that he's damn near a billionaire, that story has been able to get buried, or just it has just continued on because that has been the norm. But it's looking really bad for Puffy. I'm hoping that man wasn't involved in some sex ring. Now, there's some huge sex trafficking ring in Hollywood that's been going on for some time. And supposedly, you know, now the concern is whether or not, y'all, I'm telling you, personal summer uploading. Woo, it's hot. I was hoping I can get through this video without having to fan myself. But you guys, what I'm saying is I'm hoping that, you know, this is just standard for the case. You know, the fact that it's sex trafficking, that they really need to be thorough. And I'm really hoping that this is just them making sure that he wasn't doing that, as opposed to him, you know, being involved in or damn near a leader of a sex trafficking ring. I mean, that would be a fucking mess. Oh, it would be such a mess. My heart goes out for those kids. You know, he's got daughters. The fact that the helicopters was swarming above, I mean, everybody can agree that that shit was kind of fucked up, okay? But like I said, everybody was adults out there. And I'm sure that there was a reason that they had those boys handcuffed, okay? But you know that the girls were probably in that house. Their father wasn't even there. They probably are relying on staff or other people around them. So they're probably scared. And I'm sure their life has been quite difficult since the story of Cassie came out. So my heart does go out to those girls. Their mom died, you know, and some would say suspiciously, just out of the blue. And then now we've got this situation with Puffy and the sex trafficking. I'm just waiting for the big other shoe to drop, and we find out that Puffy has really been involved in a lot. I mean, like I said, we have always heard stories about it, but ain't nothing been confirmed. But when we get the law involved and them court paperwork, documents, and all of that start coming out, and people start reading up on things, ain't looking good. Ain't looking good for your boy. Now, Puffy, like I said, was not there. Not sure where exactly he was, but I did hear on the radio this morning that they believe that Puffy flew his private jet to Antigua, and that is where he is now. I was like, is Puffy about to pull a Russell Simmons? Is he about to flee the country? You know, is he even allowed to do that? Like, will Puffy be back on American soil? I don't think it's there, but I don't know nothing. Bitch, I need some of the real rock star lawyers to weigh in on this one, the real ones, okay? I know how y'all like to do. But yeah, like, I mean, can he flee this? If he doesn't come back, if he goes to a place where they actually just allow a person to be, such as Bali, like Russell Simmons, you know, they don't force the person back to their state if they're trying to get away from these type of charges. Is that something that Puffy is doing? Like, his arrogance to me doesn't seem like the type of person that would even want to do that. Okay, the fact that he would be looked at as a person that's running away from something, he just doesn't strike me as that person. But Puffy got real legal problems. Okay, this is if this shit all starts to look like pointing the finger at him, he gonna take his ass to jail. All right, and fuck, I think even if I was feeling like I was facing, you know, some time in jail, I don't know, baby, I'm not sure if I wouldn't try to run either, you know. So there's that. I guess we gonna see what goes with this. Maybe he's just trying to let shit die down, cool off. The block is super hot. I don't see the block cooling down for Puffy anytime soon. So yeah, I just really wonder what like the talk is amongst his friends. You know, Mary being a close friend of his and Misa's, and other people. You know, other folks have spoken out. The folks that have always had problems with him, Audrey from Danity Kane, Mace, and other people, you know, are starting to speak out a lot. Just sort of like, yeah, we tried to tell you the motherfucker's crazy and everything. But yeah, it's just looking bad for your boy. It's looking bad for your boy. All right, y'all, that's it. I love these little shorts, top of the blogs today. I will be back on Friday with our regular top of the blogs as well. But, you know, I'm loving this whole little shorter format. All right, even though it's still 20 minutes. Make sure that you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and make sure you come back. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.